Hello and welcome to Spotlight on the Arts. I'm Mark McLemore. The Tucson Symphony is inviting you to join them on a Beethoven Odyssey as the orchestra and guest virtuoso Anne Akiko Myers perform two concerts of music from the classic film 2001: A Space Odyssey. Joining me now is conductor Jose Luis Gomez to share his excitement for the program. Thank you for being here.
Hi.
Why was this music chosen?
Well, Beethoven represents for musicians, and I think for everyone in the world, a center, a big, bold center of classical music. And together with Richard Strauss' most iconic tone point, I think this combination is a little bit of the alpha and omega of one of the most important periods of classical music, which is Romanticism. So that's why I thought these two pieces fit together very well. And being one of them also be part of one of the most iconic films of the 20th century, which is, Space Odyssey, 2001: Space Odyssey by Kubrick. This element of importance of the two pieces of the two composers, together with the film, become some kind of a very powerful beginning for our season also, which is the 90th anniversary season. So it's like it's a very strong statement of music, but also of energy.
And beginnings are what this is all about. When you think about the opening sequence to 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is usually known as the Dawn of Man, that Richard Strauss composition really jumps out at you. So to take us a little bit into the mind of the composer at the time he wrote that piece. What do you think it was really trying to say? Because that was a long time before Stanley Kubrick added images to it.
Sure. Well, it's obvious that, the piece was inspired by a huge, let's say, part of what we understand created the thinking of the 20th century, which is the book by the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche called Thus Spoke Zarathustra. And so he kind of wanted not to make a complete description of the whole book, because the book is very long and very complex and very a little bit intense to my knowledge. But he took some of the most important parts of it to create, I think, the idea of how humanity was changing, at the beginning of the century. He knew Nietzsche, so he was influenced by the work, but also by the personality of this philosopher. And that beginning, which is so iconic because of the film too, it says exactly with music what the book says. This sunrise, the beginning of a new day, when Zarathustra wakes up and wants to share with the world, these new visions that he had. And so that's something remarkable, that the powerful part of it in the book also became so powerful in the music. And I think Kubrick, used that energy and that intensity that really simple three notes beginning has.